Our destination?
Owning your personal style.
Let's go for a ride.
Welcome to Girls Trip. It's Monday, which means we are kicking off our week with beauty. But this week we're kind of reflecting on the last however many weeks, 4, 5, 6, however many weeks it's been.
Wow.
And
it's been a long
It's been a while.
time.
It's been a while
with this.
Yeah. But everything we've kind of absorbed and taken in about our closets, our color analysis, our body types, going shopping, all of those experiences and information, and sort of just like pausing for a minute, take it in, and see how we feel about it, and then kind of saying how we think all of that information meshes or doesn't mesh with like what our personal style is, because there's only so much you can take in from what other people are telling you should do or should wear, how you should look, but ultimately how you feel your best is really what's going to determine you know, what you wear and how you shop and what you buy and things like that. So this is kind of just like a check-in to see where we're all landing after all of this. So there's been some off-camera discussion, and Joy's already riled up. She's already riled up.
It doesn't take much, to be fair.
It doesn't take a lot.
Yeah.
So for our last Couch Critics episode, I kind of gave it a full-on thesis about this book that I read, Wear It Well by Allison Bornstein. So if you haven't watched that and you want some background information, you can go back and listen to that first. And in it, so this is all about, it says, reclaim your closet and rediscover the joy of getting dressed. So, you know, going through your clothes, organizing, getting to know who you are, how you want to look, feel, all that kind of stuff. And they have an exercise in it where they provide a word wheel, and you are supposed to choose 3 words that reflect your style. And the first word is supposed to be a reflection of what she calls your regulars. So not necessarily the things that you love the most or wish you wore, but the things that you do wear all the time. The second one is sort of like your future self, like where you want your style to evolve into. And then the third word is supposed to be how you want to feel in your clothes when you get dressed. Like what kind of image do you want to project? So I like little exercises like that. I just think they're fun. Like I was always, you know, like to take those quizzes when I was a preteen of you know, what kind of dog breed am I?
No, I love those too. Those are fun.
Like what kind of ice cream flavor are you? Or like those things. So I just think it can be fun and silly. And I was saying to Joy that I actually did enjoy reading this book because it's so outside of my wheelhouse. It's not something I would ever make time to read in my real life. Yeah. So it was kind of a nice departure. And the fact that I had a reason to read it and take it all in was a fun experience.
What was your reaction when Lauren was talking about it the first time?
It. Yeah,
you thought it was cool?
I thought it was nice. I mean, this is an area I guess I've never thought about in such a emotional, you know, captivating way. So when she's talking about that, I mean, it makes sense. Like you see people and you're like, oh, they must be having a bad day because they don't look put together, you know? And we just immediately associate how you look to who they are as a person. And so if you're feeling crummy, and, you know, but you want to still dress nice to help brighten your mood or something, it makes sense to pick stuff that will help you out. I would say it wasn't a negative at all. I just don't know if I would ever apply that, but I like hearing about it. It's like, oh, that's nice. Good thoughts.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it didn't make you like angry.
I was not angry. I was like, oh, okay,
like
good
Joy.
for her.
We will get there when we get there. We're not there yet. No, my reaction, to be fair, I didn't read the book. I got Lauren's keynotes, her cliff notes, and then a very little bit of the challenge or the exercise. I actually really like the exercise too. I think it's really fun to do that. I don't know what the disconnect is. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I just didn't need it to actually read it and get it all in context. But Allison, is so passionate about this. And I get it. I like clothes. I like to feel good. but she is coming from a place where I feel like this will literally change your life. If you get this right, it will change your life.
She's
I'm like,
very passionate.
oh boy, like that to me, like I am such a huge proponent of like dress how you want to be addressed. Such a big proponent of that. Like if you want people to respect you, you should go into that interview, take as much time as you need to, like really like do the work to make yourself be more than presentable. Look your best. She's coming at it, unless I missed it because I didn't read it. It sounds like she's saying this will really round you out as a person. It will like fix things. Where I'm like, oh my God, I so don't see my clothes that way. But that's a me thing. I don't see my clothes as being able to, if anything, I could take that too far and be like, well, if I just throw a bunch of money at stuff, at clothing, maybe that'll help me feel better about myself. And I'm like, I know it won't, because I've gone through seasons of that where I've just thrown money at clothes to hopefully make myself feel better. And I'm in the exact same spot that I'm in pre shopping spree. So I totally am seeing this way too intense than I probably should be. But yeah, I get a different vibe. I get a different feel.
Yeah, I think that I didn't feel that way when I read the whole thing. So maybe it is more about context than just the things that I'm pulling out. Because I don't think
Most likely. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Tries to like make a blanket statement that this is going to change your life. She's being very specific and targeted of, you know, all of her clients. I feel like a lot of her clients are at some sort of transition point in their life. Where they want to, you know, maybe they stopped working in corporate, you know, for after 40 years and now they have a different sort of day to day and they don't know how to dress or, you know, whatever it may be. Or they had a baby a couple years ago and now their body is different and they haven't been happy because they're stuck between old maternity clothes and pre-baby clothes and ill-fitting stuff and, you know, trying to find that. So I think she's more coming at it of like, because, and maybe this is just me, but I've definitely... There are days where, and does this feel really shallow? Yeah, but it's still true. Where if I am unhappy with what I'm wearing or how I look, I feel crappy about it. I'm like not happy.
100%.
So, and I do find myself, and maybe this is why I'm so interested in it because I've been reflecting on this so much that the way that I have shopped and spent money in that way has been so haphazard. It's just like, if it catches my eye, I buy it.
Yeah.
And I've definitely had like quantity has been sort of this like safety blanket for me. Like as long as I always have a lot of clothes, I'll always have options. But then I was talked about when I was doing my closet clean out, like I would still pass those same things by all the time and be like, I don't want to wear those. So why did I buy that in the first place? Why did I settle? And I think I liked this exercise because it gave me things to anchor me so that when I am shopping, I'm like, I don't know. Is this the kind of thing where, you know, 3 months from now, I'm going to just be like moving the hanger out of the way because I don't really like that?
Right.
Or am I willing to spend a little bit more money than I normally would because this is the type of clothes that I'm going to be happy to wear?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think she's trying to give you strategies to be like, imagine if every day you got dressed and loved what you were wearing and how it made you feel.
Yeah.
And that's possible by maybe combining clothes that you normally wouldn't or... being aware of like what your wardrobe's missing or, you know, things like that. So she is super passionate. It's not something that maybe I'm at her level of passion or about that. But I appreciated a lot of the like ultimate sentiments that she was trying to get across.
No, I really did appreciate the exercise. I liked that. That was fun.
Okay. So we're going to reveal our 3 words.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how hard or easy it was for you guys to pick your words.
It's very hard.
I had a hard time. I had a hard time mostly with my current, with word number 1.
And that's one that I'm just now
I actually came up with 4 because she said in the number 1 slot and 1 for the rest of them because she said to jot a few down and see what the common thread is. So maybe you can help me as our wordsmith. You can help me think of a common thread here. Should I just go first since I'm already
go for
jabbering? Okay, so my 4 words for did we say what the first word should be?
That's describing your regulars.
Oh, describing your regulars, right? Okay, so my regulars would be, and these are the 4 words I wrote: neutral, simple, soft, demure.
So demure.
So demure. I kind of threw it in there just because of demure. My second word which is more aspirational, right? I put chic and in parentheses, effortlessly chic. And my third word, the way I want to feel, is elegant.
Okay.
So I see a thread there, right? Like it's not, I didn't want to just do simple because that sounds boring.
Right.
And I didn't want to just do soft because that to me speaks of very it's not me. Like soft isn't just me on its own. Neutrals, I do wear a lot of neutrals, but I also I'm not stuck in that. Like
right.
And then demure again was just because of demure. And then chic, but effortlessly chic without being too, I don't know, just not without looking like I'm trying too hard.
Yeah.
But they all kind of work together. I thought
so.
So I was happy with where they came from, but I couldn't really find a common word for that first one that really kind of exemplified all of it. I couldn't really find one.
But I do feel like they're not extremes or anything that don't go together. So they all kind of go together, but they say a different part of my style, I think. Yeah. But maybe because again, it's not encompassing your whole closet. It's
my regulars.
No,
these are my regulars.
Your regulars.
These are my
so
regulars.
you do have probably more neutrals than not in your regulars.
That was my first one I put.
Yeah, that was your first one. It has on here under that which I normally would have passed over because it is such a simple word, but it has light. And I do think of all of that when I think of all of those words.
Light?
Because I don't think it necessarily just means light in color or light in feel of fabric, but in all of those.
Yeah,
those
even
ways.
my jewelry is very dainty typically.
Dainty,
so I think that's a good word probably.
Yeah.
Light,
So.
I like that.
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
I had a really hard time with the first word as well. I ended up landing on floral, and but I was like, I don't know. It's such a literal interpretation
you're like,
of
I know
my
what she has.
regulars. It wasn't saying anything about the feel of the clothes that I wear or anything. I'm like, it's just so direct, and I'm like, but I do have a lot of florals in my regular,
but it's hard to be floral without being bright or expressive, so I think that does, if you think about that word instead of just pattern, instead of just thinking about a pattern, you're thinking about what else that probably means for your wardrobe,
right? Because I definitely lean feminine in my stuff,
feminine.
And bright. Because at first I was like, maybe I'm colorful before I got to floral, but then I'm like, I'm actually not really colorful. I'm not wearing neon yellow and hot pink on top. I have one thing, but it's not colorful and I'm a rainbow.
No, but at the same time, you are so not afraid of color at all.
Yeah, you're adventurous
so I would definitely call you more colorful on the spectrum.
Yes.
I would call you more colorful than not,
right?
For sure.
I'm definitely more colorful than I am neutral. But I was like, even more than that, I think if you looked at everything lined up, you're like, oh, that's a lot of flowers. And not that I'm definitely drawn to that. And I do like florals. But I think it's more just that is what's there.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for something that catches my eye, there's
you
not
go
a
there
lot
so
of
quick.
Non-floral patterns.
Which I actually, I don't know if you're like this, probably not, but my eye is drawn to it only for appreciation. When I see it in the store, not to be like, oh, I would love to wear that. Just oh, that's pretty. And
sometimes
I can appreciate that it's really beautiful, but I'm never I'm going to go try that on right now in the fitting room.
There's some patterns that I'm like, ooh, I would like to try that on. But a fair amount of these really big, bright, patterns, maybe not necessarily floral, I'm never I'm putting that on because that's going to make me feel amazing. But it is nice to, you're like, oh, okay, pop color.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I landed for the first one. Not sure how I feel about it. Then the second word of where I want future Lauren to be was thoughtful. Kind of for all the reasons I just said. I kind of I'm at a stage in my life where I want to look less haphazard. I don't think I ever look haphazard. I think I usually look put together, but when I'm shopping, I'm annoyed that sometimes I have stuff sitting in my closet for months, years, because I just bought it and I'm like, I have nothing to wear this with. Or I don't know how to style this or, whatever it is. And I'm like, I want to be more thoughtful in what I'm buying, making sure that I'm going to be able to wear it, that it's maybe a little bit of a more quality item. And I think a lot of times I tend towards things like dresses because it's one piece and you can still put together, but it's one piece. I don't have to think about as much like tailoring or, putting together different pieces. But I do like that look. So I'm like, I need to be more thoughtful of that. And then I think I want to feel polished. That's how I want to overall look. I want that
Polished.
put together. So at first I actually put effortless. But then I was like, oh, I think I'm a little bit more towards polished than the effortless thing. So not that I'm, want to look like 75 just yet.
No, but polished doesn't mean that.
Oh, I don't get that when I think of polished. I think of what I honestly think that's what she does already.
Yeah,
I think she always looks
put together.
Yeah, I think she always looks put together. And I think polished is just another way to say that.
Yeah.
So you're nailing it. Good job.
You're doing great. Guys.
Now I'm excited for this.
This is my paper.
Funeral was not available, I don't think, on here as a
That was
low.
Uncalled for.
Okay. So I have 2 for the first one because I just don't like the one word that I have. So I have practical and sporty. Because I feel like every day I'm wearing athletic or athleisure. What do they call it?
Athleisure.
For my, that's just what I should be wearing for my job. I'm not showing up in jeans.
Right.
Like I need to move around a little bit. And I think I just gravitate anyway towards the sportier look. So I'm like, practical makes sense in my mind because I'm wearing what I have to wear for my job.
Yeah.
But I feel like that also falls into the sporty category. So I don't really know, but yeah. They're like together. That's what I feel like. I stole Lauren's word because I was like, that's a way better word that I like. And or the way to describe it. And recently I've been trying to do this as well, thoughtful. Because same thing, you buy clothes sometimes. I'm thinking more the quality, I guess, of the clothing now. You buy clothes, you wash it once, and it's like either shrunk, that's my problem, or, it's starting to fray. So I'm really, and we kind of discussed this a little bit, I want those pieces of clothing that are going to last longer. Even I think Faith mentioned about your the scarf or something. Like if it's a little bit more expensive, you're going to wear it though. You're going to use it. So I think that's more where I want to go even when I'm shopping at TJ Maxx. Okay, it's $15.99, whatever. But do I need this? And is this going to last me for even like 6 months? Just give me 6 months to a year. If I'm wearing it though all the time, like that's what I need because most of the clothes that I wear, I'm wearing or washing every other day. So I need it to last. That's why I do a decent amount of shopping at like athletic. Like I'll spend a little bit extra money because I know I'm wearing it every single day.
Yeah.
And then other clothing like jeans and stuff like that, maybe I'm not wearing as often, but I still want to feel good in it. Like I want to feel like I'm not pulling on a cheap pair of jeans or something like that. So that's why I was like, I like that better. I originally had like light because that's more, I don't want to feel like I'm stuck in these tight clothing. Like I want to feel airy and light, but I'm like, no, let's just throw that. I like thoughtful. That works a lot better, I think. And then the last one, they seem contradicting. I have elegant and edgy.
I think that is your 2 personalities.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
So, because I was like, I don't know, because I don't fall into this like hard, edgy, like, I don't know, rock and roll. Like that's, but I like, the leather jacket. I like the boots, but I also don't mind wearing a really clean dress and something like that. So I couldn't figure out a word to connect those two. But that's kind of where I fell on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's tough picking one word.
Yeah.
That's
why I'm like, no, absolutely not. I will find a rule to break.
Yeah, it's tough finding one word to have it all in there.
Well, I feel like with that third word, it's more about the feeling and less about the appearance. So you can want to feel edgy, let's say, but you might have an elegant appearance,
so
or vice versa.
Trying to put it into practice, like for you for Christmas party, right? So like super elegant, classy dress, but like a really like cool piece of like earrings or something like different.
And I think that's what I don't like always just having the one look. I like doing something a little bit extra to make me feel like it's not quite, this. My dad used to say he would like to see me. I forget why. He was like in this ball gown, essentially, like at some point, like this Victorian ball gown. I was like, Dad, you will never see me in a ball
not
gown.
happening, Dad.
Like I
Yeah.
do not like ball gowns.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel like that's like everyone does that. So I always like being just a little bit different than everyone else, but not so absurd where you're like, what is going on?
So maybe that is then edgy maybe is more how you want to feel. Even if it's not, that doesn't mean you have to be like hard, edgy head to toe. It's just if you have that extra something different, you feel edgy.
Yeah.
But it's not like taking
So that-
over
yeah.
your
Don't
look.
you
I see
feel like
that. Okay.
that's a look right now though, with like the dress and like the combat boots? Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a thing right
Yeah.
now. So you're right. You're right in there.
Yeah, I would say edgy falls is more of the feeling one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think it was I was just looking at the other words that I had originally had in the beginning. I also had bold, vibrant. So those would kind of be my adjacent, but okay. So feel free if you want to do the exercise with us to drop your 3 words below if you heard any. But do you feel like in final takeaways from this whole experience, is there anything that you feel like has stuck with you, that has changed about how you're, I don't know, getting dressed, looking at your clothes, shopping, thinking about what your style is that maybe you weren't 2 months ago? I know it's a hard
I mean,
question
I
to
would
answer.
say that I mean, and from your support have been like, oh, that color looks great on you. And I would have never gotten towards that color, been drawn towards the color. So I think it just opened my eyes to like, oh, I can actually go in that area if I really wanted to. I know I wouldn't look ridiculous.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm still like immediately going to that or going to buy something in that, but it opened my eyes to like, there are more possibilities and I don't have to, I guess, be nervous about like, should I buy it? Should I not? Like it's in my color wheel. So I think that was the one thing that I really was like, okay.
Yeah.
I've been more challenged to buy for long term instead of short term because I'm a short term buyer for sure. Definitely seasonal. I go into Gap at the beginning of the new season and I'm like, give me everything like right now. And I think I'm just learning that certain pieces, just like you said, don't have to just last for a couple months or a couple washes. Like you can buy really good pieces and take care of them for a long time. Since getting married, your mom has been like my long-term shopper. Like everything she's gotten me has lasted forever for birthdays, for Christmas. Like it's like she's gotten me such great staple items that I'm almost like when I look forward to it, I'm like, I know I'm going to have this forever because she's going to get it for me. She's so good at that. And she loves shopping. But I need to be able to do that for myself instead of the quick buys that add up to a lot of money. So that's definitely been more of a challenge. Yeah, getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. I'm very bad at, I actually said this when we were talking about our wedding dresses, because I would look at something and be like, that's going to look terrible on me. And I'm getting more into like, just try it. Just try it on. And you might be surprised. So that was probably my second takeaway. Just try it on.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've said a lot of my takeaways, but just in being more intentional about both what I want to be looking for rather than just like, I'm just going to look in the sea of stuff and see what sticks out at me, to be like, to be more aware of what's in my closet so that I can be a smarter shopper, to say like, rather than just, I'm just going to pull these things and try them on because I like them, like, oh, this is what I actually need in my closet. I'm always looking for this and I don't have it, or, you know, whatever. And so just being more aware of that and being more intentional in what I'm looking for. And yeah, I think it's easy to say like in my head what I want to be projecting and what I think my personal style is. But then I still fall into this like rut sometimes of like the Monday through Friday of, well, I didn't put the time in ahead of time to think about what I wanted to wear. And so even though I have like better clothes in the sense of closer to what I want to look like and feel like, even though they're in there, it takes more effort and time to pull that together. So then I end up back with grabbing a pair of jeans and a sweater, or grabbing a pair of jeans and a cardigan. And it's like, it's fine that I'm wearing it, but sometimes I get a little like, stuck. And I'm like, I know I have other clothes. So I think if I think about putting them together like in outfits, ahead of time, I'll be more likely to grab that. And
because you
put
can
it
then
on.
at that point, if you know what it is, boom, 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 done, got it. Or you don't have to sit there and be like, okay, does this go with this? Like, and you can consistently wear that outfit, every 3 times a month or whatever you want.
Yeah. And then something that I realized in a couple of different things that we have done that we'll talk about later this week, that I don't ever do and I'm really bad at is layering, which is something your sister does so well.
Oh my God, she's the queen.
She constantly has like 6
you're
layers
like,
on.
She's the queen.
The collar is working
have
nicely with that.
One.
She's so good at it. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, she's really, really good at it. And there is something to it of that wanting to look thoughtful and polished, that the
So cool,
layers
though.
like add
Yeah.
that. And so definitely starting to think more about that. And I'm on the hunt. I am on the hunt for things like amazing black t-shirt.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
certain things like that I'm ready to invest in those basics so that I have them.
Oh, she can hook you up with those.
So yeah, so those I definitely am on the lookout for, and I'm becoming more aware of stuff that, because we all say like, okay, I'm ready to invest, but obviously you can't spend top dollar on everything that you
I can't
buy.
spend $500 on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I can't do
that.
it.
But I have started to be more aware and to notice what would make the most sense for me. Like I want to buy a nice coat next time, I think, because I'm wearing it every single day and for years, and I'm still wearing it even though it's falling apart because I bought a cheap coat at Marshall's. So I'm like, to me, that's something you're getting so much use out of that I won't feel bad spending a little bit more money. So certain things like that. And then maybe that will, and if you really want to put your glasses on, sort of just disconnecting the like dopamine hits from the clothes shopping.
Yeah.
Because that's where I feel like you make impulsive choices where you're like, if I just didn't get those, 6 things over the last month,
Yep.
I
got-
would have the money to get this one piece that's really going to like pull my wardrobe together.
That's a whole nother topic right there.
Yeah.
And how we
So-
can combat that, because that's not easy.
Working on that.
But overall, fun exercise.
Yep.
Ish.
Ish. Sort of.
Really loved journeying with you both. Thank you, Faith, again for all your work into this. Allison,
I'm a fan, Allison.
let's get
I'm a
coffee
fan.
and discuss about some
Let's get
stuff.
coffee and figure this out.
Is this officially like kind of like closing?
This is like the wrap up.
clothing.
We have a lot of like updates this week of stuff that's happened.
Okay.
But yeah, this is kind of where we're rounding out before we jump into
So
summer.
join us for the rest of the week as we put a bow on some of these topics. We really want to hear from you too. So anything that you gleaned from this episode or in weeks past, let us know in the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. That would be super awesome. And please like the video if you liked it. And most importantly, don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.